Stay moving, do buy with it. New sound, just vibe with it. Same truth and we die with it. I see it like it's an optical. I never sit on the fence. Nothing to me is impossible. Music a means to the end. Most of the shit is illogical. All the young niggas depend on what they pretend. Just think with your head, stop looking at trends. You wearing your eyes like it's topical.
Clearly now, the pain is gone, the fame is on, and they play my song. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change your way. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way back. Find your way back, nigga, find your way back. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way back. Find your way back, nigga, find your way back. New era, I got y'all. Real game, we pop off, no knockoffs. Open eyes, we watch out. Mobilize, won't cop out. COVID-19 cops out, don't flop now. Open skies, we fly now. New agenda, they try now. Most y'all getting real scared of the headlines when you find out. And getting real near. If you don't know, you behind now. Behind the times, government hide behind the lines. Most brands trying to monetize. All of us have to stay inside, don't socialize. Talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change your way. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way back. Find your way back, nigga, find your way back. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way back. Find your way back, nigga, find your way back.
Check, check, 1, 2, ayy. Check, check. I don't know if I can rap this shit. Yeah. Ayy. Yeah. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's poppin'. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they sat it. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice. I see you looking, I see you watching. Wasn't too long ago, we was just talking. I'm sorry you hate me now, and I don't mean that I'm sorry for me. I'm just sorry for you, cause you won't get to see what a hot king can do when he's given the chance to become what he knew he could. Now my shit's popping, oh, and I'm shocking. I'm just from Buffalo, I shouldn't make it. Was right by my auntie, but that woman hated me. Good at pretending for everyone faking it. Now I'm awake and I see why they made the choice to kick me out just as soon as I made the choice. Now I'm a king, yeah, that's the thing. Happens a lot. Fatherless kids, yeah, we come by the lot. Changing shit whether you like it or not. He would come like it or not. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they sat it. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice. Fuck the whole industry, music and media. Started my own shit, I don't think they feeling me. I just don't get it, so fuck it. I'm done with all this luck shit. Y'all think y'all scaring me, so I address it. But now all your niggas is running. All of your mouths is just running. No talent, but your shit is funded. Now all y'all think y'all real funny. Clown flexing with that fake money. Can't buy shit without real shit, so you rent shit cause you real dummy. Just invest in mine like a broker. New money coming soon. Your last post got like 50,000, but you can't fill the fucking room. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they sat it. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule.
To the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 3150 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in that realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. So what's going on, beeshes, booshes, bustas, hustles, and yo-hos? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you bees. All right, fam, welcome to the show. Welcome to 3150. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the show. Rumble.com/The Daily Swole. And of course, you can catch the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, anywhere you bang your ear holes. We got an announcement before we get started. Yesterday's roundtable was an amazing success. It was a great time. So thank you everyone that was there for roundtable. Let's get a round of applause for the Swole fam. That's right. Roundtable is available, and you can go and check it out now. Download the Swolenormous app. It's right there on your homepage, so you can catch all the fun that was the roundtable last night. It's available for members. And of course, at the end of today's show, we have our overtime segment for members, and that will be streaming privately in the Daily Swole Telegram chat, so you can join over at swolenormousx.com. Before we get into the first Swole fam post, also, fam, we have our Swole year release party. Let's get a little America for that one. Now, if you know, we have two of these every single year. We have the Swole year release party. We have Balls Deep for summer. This is going to be awesome because we've been working on the app diligently all year, and of course, we released it. We released it a little while ago, probably about a month or so ago at this point. The app has been live, and we got a lot to drop on the Swole year release party. So Swole year release party 2025, ringing in the new year a couple days early like we always do, Monday, December 30th, 12 noon Eastern time. So extra releases. We look back over the entire year, what we've accomplished, and of course, we're going to drop some new awesome stuff. So make sure you are there for that. Bringing in a big Fuck Your Resolution season. We start today. Make sure you're not waiting. Join the fam, swolenormousx.com. Download the app, start your trial. Absolutely lit. I'm looking forward to this party. Looking forward. It's going to be fun. So Monday, December 30th, last accountability meeting is going to be our New Year party. Now, let's get right on into that tip. Welcome, everyone. Pua. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right, let's get into the first Swole fam post. What do we got?
What's in the box?
This one's from Hillary. And Hillary says, "Hi fam, on February 20th, 2018, I got my first welcome to the fam call from Papa. Back then, he hadn't met Mama Swolio." That's not true. Mama Swolio we met in 2016, so I don't know where you got that from. Back then, he hadn't met Mama Swolio. I did. Papa Swolio, may she Shavasana in peace, was on the cam, and my life hasn't been the same. I am now 65 years old, a personal trainer in Santa Cruz, California. My oldest client is 97 years old. Wow. I'm here at the round table, but can't get in the chat. Anyway, excited to be back, starting the day with Swolga, then following workouts at the gym. I got spinal stenosis and won't let it stop me. Well, awesome to hear. You're at the round table, but can't get in the chat. Well, it's through Zoom. So we do our round tables through Zoom, and I don't know if anyone has any recommendations. The chat in the Zoom is pretty simple. It's right there at the bottom. You can just click on chat. So it's really cool. Roundtables are awesome. You can live chat. We're all replying. People are talking on the phone. So super awesome. Cerny says another youngster, maybe not a youngster, but young biologically. That's for sure. Taking care of your health. I'm not sure what makes you think that I didn't meet Mama Swolio in 2018. So Mama Swolio and I had been together for about 2 years at that point. Yeah. But anyway, that's awesome. That's awesome. I think the Mama Swolio people started realizing that she existed in 2019 with the Brittany Dawn thing. Because remember, she gave me coffee because Brittany Dawn, do you remember those videos? As a lot of you probably are too new for that. but she was saying, you need a girlfriend. You need someone. So at the end of one of my videos, I had her hand me a coffee or something at the end because she was acting like I had nothing else to do and just make videos about her for scamming people. Okay, Kylie. We got one here from Kylie. Kylie says, hi, fam. I'll be going to Colorado, and this is in the app also. I'll be going to Colorado for 11 days for Christmas, but our hotel / Airbnb, well, which one is it? Because that's a big difference, doesn't have a kitchen. How do y'all stick to your nutrition when traveling like this? There will be a microwave, but I can't meal prep for that long and bring that much food. Okay. Colorado for 11 days, hotel / Airbnb. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. So if you're at a hotel and you only have a microwave, you said, is there a fridge? Is there a mini fridge? What you can do is use, what's the app called? What's the app called? Not just Amazon Whole Foods delivery, but what's the other one? You can order it through Walmart too. You can order groceries. So if you're going to a hotel or an Airbnb, you can also order food to your address. You can order groceries and cook. Now, what you're saying is you can't bring that much food. You could bring it on the plane. You could bring a lot of food on a plane. You could bring one of those big bags of food. You can cook food in advance. You could freeze it. You could bring it on a plane. So you can absolutely bring a ton of food on a plane, especially in a carry-on. You can carry it in a big bag. And I've done this. I've brought pounds of beef. I brought fruit. I brought all sorts of stuff onto a plane. So a lot of people don't know that. You can bring a lot of food onto a plane, just not liquids. So a microwave, you definitely don't want to cook in a microwave. But what you can do if you're traveling, if you're flying, I'm assuming you're flying. Most people don't drive long distances like that. I believe, where's Kylie from? I don't know if you're watching live, Kylie. But regardless, you can get, and I think Alita in the community section had responded to this and was talking about getting a small skillet. That's probably the best thing that you can do for traveling, because even if you're flying on a plane, one of those small tabletop skillets are very, very small. And that can be your entire method for cooking. So a small skillet is amazing. You can get a pan. You could also, heck, you can order a pan and have it delivered, right? Walmart, they can deliver it to your place. If you can't fly with it, and you can just toss it. Of course, you want to make sure it doesn't have one of those non-stick Teflon surfaces, so you can have stainless steel. You can order a pan or bring it with you. But anyway, a skillet's probably the best way to do it. And then you can just make your food fresh. So if you're at a hotel, you can request a mini fridge. If you have medication you have to keep cold, you can say, I need a mini fridge for medication. A lot of times they can put one in your room. Oh, you're watching live. She says, we're staying in a hotel for a week and an Airbnb for a week. Okay, so you're splitting it. That makes sense. Both have a fridge and a microwave. Okay, so good. A fridge is good. So you can bring stuff on the plane, even for a couple days. You could bring food and then cook it there. My recommendation in terms of preparing food, you don't want to be using a microwave. The best option, I would say, is one of those skillets. And you can also order it on Amazon and have it sent to the hotel. And you can call in advance and ask, like, what should I put, say by the desk. And they can hold a package for you at the hotel. That way you don't have to fly with the skillet, because it doesn't take up much space. But I understand when you're packing. These are things that you have to think about. But these are actually really good strategies. So the beautiful thing about the internet nowadays, especially with all the apps, especially with Amazon and Whole Foods and Instacart, that's what I was thinking of. Uber, a lot of these apps will deliver food, and if you can cook simply, you just have to live a little bit light. Maybe you could bring salt. You have to think about seasoning and stuff if you're doing ground beef, this, that, and the other. And it doesn't have to necessarily be everything that you're eating, but you can have a great foundation. Eggs are fantastic. Eggs will keep even outside the fridge, so you can have eggs. And you can just cook them up. A lot of great options. So just my thoughts on the matter. A skillet is a great way. A skillet's a great way to do it. Elizabeth says, pack everything like your Samwise Gamgee. Yeah, just pack it all in. All that elven bread. Just pack it all in. So those are my thoughts. A skillet is flat. You can put it at the bottom of your your suitcase. If you're going for 11 days, you're probably going to not just be doing everything through a carry-on. You're probably going to be putting the baggage underneath. So that would be a good place to put that. Whether or not you put a skillet in there, you can pack your belongings around that, or you can order one to the hotel. And just some literal, pun intended, food for thought. But this is what you can also bring a lot of cooked food with you. And then you can just heat it up on the skillet and so on and so forth. So you can bring cooked food. And again, the time frame makes all the difference. So I would recommend you bring your own little kitchen, and a skillet will make all the difference. Okay. And then, of course, what you want to season things with, how you want to cook. It's a skill. Okay? It's a skill. Preparing food is a skill. It's time management. It's knowing what to bring because, and you guys know this, if you've ever gone camping, if you don't prep your food often, you might have a similar experience from going camping, and then you forget the paper towels. Shit, I don't have anything to do. I don't have anything to wipe this off. Next time I'll bring paper towels. When you go camping, you don't have anything. So the more expertise and experience you have, the more little items you'll remember. And you'll remember the fork, you'll remember the knives, you'll remember the paper towels, you'll remember the salt, you'll remember the plates, and these types of things. So the more you do it, the more you'll realize what you need as an individual. But it's not too complicated. And a skillet is the most universal way you can cook anything. Right. And then you can cook your steaks and just cook steak and eat it. Remember, things will stay good outside the fridge, especially if you cook. You could leave it in a container. Maybe make a little list of things that you want to get. Okay, let's get into email responses. We got 2 of these. Sent out an email this week. Can you drink wine and still lose weight? Can you drink wine and still lose weight? So, first off, what I'll say is for most people, you need to do the things you need to do, regardless of, oh, I want to drink my alcohol and still get amazing results. Well, you're going to be compromising because it's technically poison. Doesn't mean you can't have a little bit, but most often this isn't the only thing that people are doing. They think the wine, they use that as a kind of gatekeeper and they let the floodgates open. Most of the time, it's not just, can I drink beer and still lose fat? Can I drink wine and still lose fat? That's usually not the only issue. There's a lot of other things that are missing. And the answer is, of course. It also depends on how much you drink, how often, what type, and it's not really benefiting you. But you have to weigh the pros and the cons and what you actually get out of these things. So let's read the response from Brandon. The timing of this email couldn't be more perfect. It's 5 a.m. here, my me time, no kids, no work, just me and myself. Most mornings I use this window to hit the gym because if I don't do it now, it won't happen after the workday. Yesterday was our holiday work gathering and it included lunch where I indulged. The truth is, since Thanksgiving, I've been letting myself have more and more indulgences, not just with food, but with screen time, which is losing sleep for me. I can feel myself slipping back into the habits that I worked hard to break. Currently, I'm 300 pounds, down 30 since August, but I've plateaued since Thanksgiving. This morning, after reflecting on yesterday's choices, I decided to dedicate me time to getting back on track with planning and prep. When I logged into my computer, the first thing I saw was an email from Papa talk about timing. I'm committing to dedicating 1 day a week during my me time to meal planning. That means deciding what I'm going to eat, building a grocery list, ordering the food, and meal prepping on Sunday. I realize I can't have meal choices or leave meal choices up to the moment. They need to be pre-decided. I often joke that if something isn't on my calendar, it doesn't exist in my world. Gym time is already there, and now meal planning and prepping are too. I've already spent more time than I planned on this, so now it's time to shut the fuck up and get back to the meal planning that I originally set down to do. I agree. If you don't have things ready, then you're not going to execute. You think you're going to do it in the moment, but you're usually going to circumvent that and go the easy way. There's no need to fall off. The problem with where you're at is that you thought you had good habits built and you didn't. That's why you fell off. Okay. And I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm saying that because it's objectively true. So what you said is, I've been letting myself have more and more indulgences. I can feel myself slipping back into the habits I worked hard to break. This means you didn't break them. The whole 21 days to build a habit, your habits are only good until they break. It could be 6 months. You didn't really have that habit. You didn't have the right intent. You didn't have the right systems in place. So the fact that you're even falling off a little bit because of Thanksgiving or whatever excuse that, whatever you're trying to make, it's because you didn't have those habits there to begin with. You thought you did, but you didn't. So that is exposing your belly, so to speak. I'm not saying that with a pun. I'm just saying truthfully. So yes, focus, plan all those things, but this is also an important lesson, Brandon. Now, Brandon knows that these things have to be set in advance, because if it's not ready, then you're going to fall off and fail to prepare. You're going to prepare to fail. So make sure you have your stuff in advance. Good for you, and keep us posted. Same email. Can you drink wine and lose fat? This is from Callie. Callie says, agreed. I used to allow myself to binge over the holidays, candy, cookies, alcohol, etc. Now I'm down 90 pounds and I'm a heavy lifter. I realize how much it hurts my body to eat and drink all of these things. I feel it in my workouts and I feel it when I wake up. I deserve to not have these things. I deserve to have healthy foods and foods that nourish me. And though I may indulge on a cookie or two and maybe a little wine, it's definitely a rarity because of how it makes my body feel. Thank you for kicking ass and kicking our asses every day. Sure. So again, whether or not you indulge a little bit and you feed these addictions, I'm not sitting here telling you how to live your life, but you guys know the tightrope that you're walking on. And these foods are highly addictive and compulsive, and there's a lot of social pressure to eat and to do more and more of these things. And I think people generally underestimate how much, I'll just have one. I'll have one glass of wine. I'll have a couple cookies because it's the holiday, because it's Christmas Eve, and grandma always makes... That leads to the breaking of all your other discipline. And if you have a boat, you don't want cracks in the hull. You don't want a small leak. There's no, right? Think about that. You have a boat. Is there any amount of leaking on a boat that is acceptable? No. If the hull is cracked, it's like a building. If you have a skyscraper and you have a crack in the foundation, that needs to be fixed immediately. That's a massive security risk. So there's no amount of holes in, there's no amount of holes in the hull, for example, that's acceptable. So think about that. Think about that. And they only grow. They don't get smaller. So keep that in mind next time you're making excuses. Not Callie, but anyone, including. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's get into some questions, fam. If you got questions, good stuff. Thank you for the responses. Keep on dropping those in the chat, and make sure you go and give us an update in the Swolenormous app. Make sure you go on over to the App Store and Google Play and download the Swolenormous app. It's available now. So you can download, you could join the community over there, introduce yourself, and get access to all of our amazing programs. Like I mentioned earlier, we have our Swole New Year party on the 30th, major new releases, and awesome look back over the amazing 2024. Of course, with the new app, in addition to all the amazing content that we keep on dropping, you get offline downloads, scheduling your workouts in the calendar. You can journal, you can jump in the community, ask questions, post progress pics, all that amazing stuff. Custom playlists, which is probably a Swole fam favorite, because with the custom playlist, you can easily access your favorite classes, your favorite workouts, everything that you need day to day. And you can have many of these playlists for recipes, for anything you want, for Swollen Sevens, for yoga, for mobility, daily journal, and streaming to your TV, among other things. So you have a lot of things you can access with the new app. Go check it out. App Store, Google Play, start your free trial. Head on over there and join the fam. Join the fam. We want to see you in the fam. We want to see you. We want to know what turns you on and what you need to make sick fucking gains. And we want to help you make those gains. Let's get into some questions. If you got questions live, take a moment and drop them in the chat. Hashtag AskPapaSwolio. There's a couple questions on Wednesday's show. I realized afterwards, I think you guys remember when I was answering questions, like, that's it? It turns out I missed, like, some of them didn't load in the Dropbox. So we have a couple extra questions today. So a few that wanted to answer on Wednesday popped up. So we have them for today. But you can drop your question in the live chat. Hashtag AskPapaSwolio. We'll take one from Terry on Rumble first. Terry trains arms sometimes. Bring that up on the screen here. Papa Swolio, I take creatine in the morning before the gym, but it's only 2 grams. Is this enough to make a difference for a 220 pounder like myself? Why do you take only 2 grams? Is it enough? it's probably enough over time. I think you'd probably benefit for taking more. I take 5. I take 5 to 10 every day. Sometimes I take 10 on training days just because sometimes I feel like it or I forget if I took it in the morning. I usually take 5 grams first thing in the morning, and sometimes I'll have a little bit extra later. But you say it's only 2 grams. I'm not saying that you'll get benefits. I think you're better off taking 5. It's not going to be harmful for you. If anything, it'll be beneficial. My question is, why do you take only 2 grams? You're in control of that. You could take more. Or is it pills or something and one serving is 2 grams? There's nothing stopping you from taking more. Creatine is very highly studied, very inexpensive for a supplement. So I recommend 5 a day, but that's just my personal preference. So is enough to make a difference? It's hard to gauge what's enough to make a difference. Terry says it's in a capsule form, 750 each, and I don't want to take 5 at a time. Just take a powder, man. Take a powder. You're probably paying more for capsules too. Plus your whatever the capsules or whatever else they put in the capsules. You don't want to get any stearates or anything else like that. You don't need capsules. Just take powder. Just do powder. Powder's cheap. Okay, Don G. Taylor, when I ride my bike 20 miles or more, instead of going to the gym, is it considered swolenormously worthy? When I ride my bike 20 miles or more, instead of going to the gym. Well, you answered your question there, Don. Instead of going to the gym.
Matt Damon.
Instead? What are you trying to accomplish? Look, you could ride your bike 50 miles. You're going to look like someone who, you're going to look, if you ride your bike 20 miles, guess what? You're going to look like someone who rides their bike 20 miles. And I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm just saying that objectively. If you ride your bike 20 miles, what do people usually look like that ride their bike 20 miles? The same look that people have when they run 20 miles, when they run 10 miles. Probably skinny fat. It's not really good for your posture because you're hunched over and you're compounding shorter or tight hamstrings and tight hip flexors. Nothing wrong with riding a bike. You might enjoy it. Of course, you can ride your bike in different methods. You could do a Tour de France type stuff, or you could just be casually riding on a flat surface and it's okay. You're getting outside in fresh air. Nothing wrong with that. I think people are better off walking. Look, bike riding is good transportation. Exercise, I think you're better. I think people are just better off walking. Use your legs for walking. You're supposed to walk. Go walk for 5 miles. It's better for your health than bike riding, honestly. Unless you're trying to go somewhere and you're going to work or you're riding your bike to the gym. And again, you can enjoy things. I'm not telling you you can't enjoy riding a bike, but for exercise, you want to lift weights. So is it considered swolenormously worthy? You don't need to do things to be worthy of me or of the Swole fam. But are you trying to do the best for your health? Make sure you're lifting weights. You can go ride your bike casually on the beach. People like to ride on the boardwalk and do those types of things. Nothing wrong with that. You're just better off walking. You're better off walking. It's more human and it's better for your body than just pedaling a wheel and rolling. People like mountain biking and you're going up trails. There's a different element to that. So it really depends on what you're doing, but you have to go to the 7 pillars. And remember that pillar number 3, training, means your training modality needs to match what you want the outcome to be. Think about that again. I'll say it again. If you don't know what the 7 pillars are, go to swolenormousx.com, download the 7 pillars. Pillar number 3, training, is about your protocol matching what you want the outcome to be. A lot of people, I've been doing this a long time. This is episode 3150. A lot of people want a certain result, and what they're doing is completely opposite or it's completely disconnected from what they actually want as the result. Make sure you're not wasting your time. There are things that you can do that you enjoy. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying you can't go and enjoy a bike ride, but if you're trying to build muscle and get lean and ripped, it's not the best thing to do. It's just the truth. Okay, more questions. Let's see. We'll take some more. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. We're live on Rumble and YouTube's Miss Texas Fit, Kylie, blowing up. I love how we're getting a lot of questions today. Welcome, everyone. Come one, come all. Welcome to the show. All right, Papa Swolio. I understand building lean muscle metabolizes fat, but it's been burned into my brain that a caloric deficit at the same time as building muscle is the best way to lose fat. Can you explain more? Yeah, I'm not really sure what you're saying. Lean muscle, building lean muscle metabolizes fat? Not really. It can. Your more lean mass will burn more fat at rest, just not large amounts, but improving your metabolism, lean mass is important. A calorie deficit at the same time as building muscle. You're not going to do that. That's not what's going to happen. You're not going to be building a lot of muscle in a deficit. Chances are you're not going to have enough glycogen, you're not going to have enough calories, and it's going to negatively affect performance. Remember, having a caloric surplus isn't required for building muscle, but it's going to be a requirement, enough protein, enough calories. As you build more muscle, you're going to have to match to maintain that lean tissue. So you're not going to be in a calorie deficit in building muscle. You're really not going to be doing that. Maybe if you have a lot of body fat to lose, but having a surplus isn't required for building muscle. It's usually as a product of laying more contractile proteins and then increasing your calories, making sure you have sufficient fuel in order to maintain your lean mass. Okay, let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Jessica, what's your opinion on vegans who say meat and dairy is addictive because of opioid peptides? I think it's ridiculous. I've never heard that in my life. My opinion on vegans isn't high as it is. I feel bad for vegans because they've been misled by propaganda. Veganism is essentially the nutritional way. Veganism is nutritional MSNBC and CNN. These people have been co-opted by garbage, marketing, mainstream narratives, and leftist paradigms. So veganism it's not a good thing for the human body. So I take what vegans say with a piece of steak instead of a grain of salt. Meat and dairy is addictive because of opioid peptides. I've never even heard that. I think meat and dairy, it's not addictive. I'm not addicted to meat and dairy. I want it because I feel great and I feel satisfied and I want to optimize my health. So I wouldn't say it's addictive. It's just what humans eat. I do agree with you that whatever you just said is ridiculous. I don't know what those vegans are, but saying that a vegan has said something crazy is pretty much par for the course. Nunu, Papa, doctor suggests full carnivore to reverse disorder. What do you think of carnivore? Genuine educated opinion. Thanks, Papa. Your doctor suggests full carnivore. Well, your doctor's based. Good for you. That's a good doctor. Most doctors don't even know carnivore exists, or they wouldn't even consider that. What disorder are you trying to reverse? What do I think of carnivore? I think carnivore is great. It's essentially an elimination diet. It's a complete elimination. I personally don't like carnivore long term, but that's up to the individual. So carnivore, animal-based, plus fruit and maybe some starches. We had some white rice last night? No, 2 nights ago. Not often. Might have a little sweet potato now and again, but usually it's dates, it's raw honey, it's dairy. I'm getting my carbs from coconut water and stuff like that. I don't need... Everyone's going to be a little bit different with where they prefer their carbohydrates from. But I think carnivore is very beneficial for people, especially if you have disorders or if you have a lot of insulin resistance issues. If you have autoimmune issues, carnivore is a great thing to do, at least in the short term. When I say short term, it could be 3 to 6 months, depending. But what happens is very similar to veganism. Just don't get dogmatic about it to the point where I'm a vegan, and then 6 months down the road, your health is suffering. But no, I have to keep on trying different things from a vegan paradigm. And they keep on trying, they do high fat vegan or keto vegan or whatever the heck these things are. They try to do everything vegan possible when the fundamental avoiding animal products is the problem. So you want to make sure that you don't overstay your welcome with carnivore. Some people like it longer term, but I personally like some carbs. I personally like carbs, and I think it's required for optimizing lifting and training performance. Wisely said. Elizabeth says, vegans don't know what they're saying because their brains aren't functioning properly. Yeah, pretty much.
Everybody knows you never go
pretty
full
much.
retard.
You know, would you trust the opinion of someone who has a poorly functioning brain? You have to take that into consideration. Okay. Jack Santa, Papa Soul, is lysine good for you? It's a branched chain amino acid, right? No, leucine. No, it's not lysine. I don't know about the individual. All essential amino acids are important. Supplementing extra with lysine, not that I'm aware of, is I don't do anything like that. But leucine, isoleucine, and valine are the branched chain amino acids. But amino acids are important. Just eat meat. If you have a quality grass-fed whey protein powder that you like, just getting in your complete proteins is going to get you all the amino acids you need. You really don't need those things. I think most amino acid supplementation is nonsense, but it could be beneficial if you're doing bodybuilding competitions or endurance training. Maybe it'll help preserve some muscle mass when you're doing excessive outputs. I'm not really sure about the detail of an individual amino acid, to be honest with you. Projector, Papa Soy, have you seen how CNN allegedly rescued a war criminal? Yeah, so CNN did this exclusive, and they found this dude in a cell that was somehow nice, neat, and manicured, and didn't look like there was no poop, the cell was clean, and it turned out that this guy was a torturer, right? Or something. He worked in the prison. CNN's a joke. I think it was either completely planned by them or they were set up, but super fake. You have to be very skeptical with anything that's coming out of the propaganda machine. CNN's a joke. You can't trust them for news, that's for sure. If you're not on X, and here's the truth, if you're not on X, aka Twitter, you're not getting news. Seriously, you're just watching propaganda. If you're still watching mainstream news, you are just not getting news. You're getting propaganda, period. You need to be on X, at least so you can see various opinions. You can see people replying. There's community notes. If you're not on X, you're not getting news. You're getting information, but it's probably a lie, or it's biased, or it's filtered through the narrative that the donors or the advertisers want you to see. Telegram chat. See, Michael, I'm listening at work and trying to get a comment in. Any advice on still enjoying all the meat I eat and some salt and eggs galore with high blood pressure? Working on it, but I trashed my body for years. I'm 43 and eating high proteins and doing maximum swole. Trying to get more fit before I go to the doctor, and they try to put me on meds for high blood pressure. Oh, like statins? Is that what those are for? I mean, those are very dangerous. You'd have to go down the rabbit hole for high blood pressure. I mean, objectively, eating healthy is going to be good for people across the board. I mean, general advice is, again, elimination diet, customizing your nutrition. Personally, I would never take any kind of medication for those types of things. Only lifestyle changes. You said you trashed your body for years. What are your other habits? And of course, the quality of the food matters. Yeah, statins are for high cholesterol. I get tongue-tied sometimes. You got to be very careful with that type of stuff. Most of those medications are designed for lifetime prescriptions, and then you depend on them. So I don't have anything particular or specific for you aside from all your other lifestyle habits, which are not in the question that you asked. You eat meat. What kind of meat? Some salt. I mean, there's a lot of micronutrients and things like that. Magnesium, other things that maybe you're missing. It's not really enough information. I'm not a blood pressure expert either. But it sounds like you're on the right track when it comes to your nutrition. You could still be missing some things. David Moore, U.S. Meditation, sauna, walks, going on long walks is great in general, for your health, mental and physical, and good for blood pressure in general. What's your take on finisher exercises? For example, training chest, then doing dumbbell flies to failure. I think there's no real value. Finisher exercises are just more fatigue. You're not going to be activating, or you're not going to be getting as much of a stimulus and activation at the end of a set like that, dropping the weight, doing a set, heavy set, and then doing a drop set. There's really no benefit to it. You might get some more local blood flow and feel a pump, but a pump does not mean that you're going to be building muscle. And a lot of times people that do way too much fatigue, they just have a lot of swelling in their muscles. They think they're gaining size. They think they're getting bigger, but it's just chronic fatigue and blood that's trapped in the muscles and edema, essentially swelling because of local inflammation. So finisher exercises, drop sets are not required. We've talked about supersets before. Supersets can be beneficial if you don't have a lot of time, but on a regular basis, it's just more fatigue and less stimulus long term. So you're better off resting longer between sets. You don't want a cardiovascular component to your training. Meaning when you do a set, if you do a heavy hack squat set, for example, you might be more out of breath, out of breath, breathing, sweating, fine. I'm not saying you can't sweat or breathe heavily, but you want to make sure that your heart rate comes down and you don't have that out of breath component before you do your next set. And certain exercises are going to take more out of you than others. If you do a heavy leg press set or a heavy pendulum squat or hack squat or barbell squat, you're going to be more fatigued before you rest and do your next set than if you do a set of bicep curls. You're going to recover a lot faster between sets. So whereas for a heavier compound leg set like squats, you might have to rest 4 or 5 minutes between your next set. For curls, maybe you rest 2 or 3. So again, when you're doing any kind of training, you want to make sure you're minimizing the fatigue. Billy on Instagram, been going to the fucking gym for a half year now. 70/30 protein carbs diet 4 times a week. Currently at 80 kilograms, how much muscle can I add per year? I'm just going to completely ignore whatever you just told me because it doesn't really matter. How much muscle mass can you add per year if you're doing everything perfectly? I don't know. Maybe a pound a month, maybe less. Depends. You're going to be building less muscle as you might make quicker adaptations. It really depends on your training. So how much can you? You're going to have to show all of us. You're going to have to prove that by doing it. Everyone's going to build muscle at different rates, and it's very hard to continuously build muscle long term. This is why people just don't get bigger endlessly and endlessly and endlessly. So you've only been going to the gym for 6 months. You have a lot more gains to make. 4 times a week, it really depends on your training. You might not build any muscle if you're not progressively overloading properly or you're not in a good program. So you can build a bunch of muscle, but again, it's not just going to the gym. So I can't just say, oh, you're going to build this much. Going to the gym 4 times a week. What are you doing at the gym? Are you doing a lot of fatigue? Are you progressively overloading? Are you choosing good exercise? Are you training hard? Are you eating properly? 70/30 protein and carbs. Okay. I don't care what your macros are. Of course, as you build muscle, you're not just going to keep on putting on a pound a month, half a pound, newbie gains. I don't have a crystal ball exactly. So it's not just going to the gym that's going to get your results. Oh, I'm going to the gym. Cool. You'll build this much. You have to be doing the right things in the gym. So again, I say go to the fucking gym. A lot of people go to the fucking gym and they don't do the right stuff. Monica, how many powerlifting competitions should I compete in a year?
Matt Damon.
Yeah, 12 pounds of muscle in a year. That might just be like your first year or two. Those are called newbie gains. You can absolutely put on, and it depends. It depends. Maybe some people can put a little bit, you'll have little spurts where you put on a little bit more depending on how you're training. But it's not going to be like that. It might be half a pound or a quarter pound. It's going to vary depending on what you do and how efficient you are. How many powerlifting competitions should I compete in a year? I don't know. How many do you want to? I don't know. These questions are kind of opinion. What's normal? I don't fucking know. Hey, how many powerlifting competitions? I don't know. I don't do any, so none. None. If you like them, I guess do more of them. Just make sure you don't hurt yourself. Just keep in mind, if you're doing a competition, you're going to be pushing yourself to the limit. So you probably need some more recovery. You're probably going to get hurt if you do too many. That's all I'll say. I don't care. Chad R 1972. Do you think training should change for guys in their 50s, like exercises, volume, etc.? Yes and no. Depends on what you've been doing. If you're new to training, you can't. Let me put it this way. I've been training when I'm in my 50s, I'll be training for 30 years. So I'm going to be doing a lot of things in my 50s that most people would never, ever do because they don't have the decades of training that allows me to train like that in my 50s. I'm going to be training a lot harder, lifting a lot heavier because I've had decades of getting to that weight. What I will say is that in general, most people do way too much volume. And as you get older, your fatigue management becomes more and more important. So I'm 41, and what's much more important to me is I want to train super hard, but what has to adjust is the amount of volume. So I've done a lot less volume and I do a lot lower reps, which means I'm actually lifting heavier, but it incurs less fatigue. I get much more stimulus, I minimize my fatigue, and I do less overall volume, and I'm able to recover for my next workout. So again, I'm training every other day. I sometimes do some accessory stuff on an in-between day, but I do upper rest, lower rest, upper rest, lower rest. And then I keep the intensity high, but I adjust the volume based on how I feel. And doing every other day with the high intensity has really allowed me to be consistent. I tried for a little bit a month or so ago, maybe for 2 months, I did like 2 on, 1 off. I just can't maintain that long term. I keep on wanting to take extra time off, and I appreciate the every other day, and I can be a little bit more flexible with my volume and still recover in time. So recovery is very important. So you don't want to train less intensely. A lot of times people get older and like, well, I'm not going to squat anymore, do hack squats. I'm going to pull back and take it easy. Well, guess what? You're going to lose muscle. You're going to lose muscle. You'll lose those adaptations. You don't want to take it easy. You want to train harder, but you need to train less amount. You don't need that much. 1 set twice a week is enough for growth, but those sets need to be close to failure and they need to be at a proper load, and you need to actually be putting that work in. So I want to train hard. I'm going to train hard. But if I'm going to train hard, I need to make sure that I manage that fatigue, and the fatigue is the most important thing. Marvin, how long after you stop taking creatine do you begin the loading phase again? You do not need to load creatine. Do not need to load creatine. We got two more questions. Treco One Eye. Papa Swole, do you train martial arts? I don't. I've dabbled in the past, but I don't currently. Killcon 1620. Has anyone told you they listen to your podcast during their workout? I do, and love laughing at the balls deep content at the gym. I appreciate it. And some people have told me that they do listen to the podcast when they're lifting, and I agree. This podcast is going to help you make the most sick fucking gains, because all I'm doing is raping your ear holes and telling you to make those sick fucking gains and go to the fucking gym. So if you're in the gym right now, give me 2 more reps.
Emotional damage.
Make those ear hole gains. We're getting your ears swole. All right, let's get into some balls deep content. Are you ready, Beaches? Let's do it.
That's deep.
Jarella says, that depends on so much. I have a lot of osteoarthritis, so I dialed back the heaviest possible weightlifting. It causes wear and tear I can't afford. Well, remember, heavy as possible is relative. Heavy as possible is relative. It's just relative. Remember, the weight and the reps, there might be certain exercise that you like higher repetitions, but remember, it's more fatigue and you have to get closer to absolute task failure. So you might like certain exercises, 8 to 12 reps. Fine. Most of my sets are 4 to 8. Most of my sets are 4 to 8. So if I get 4 or 5 reps, I'm usually adding a little bit of weight. That's just how I train. And that's what I train for most things. Not every single exercise. Not every single exercise. But for me, when the reps get towards, if I get 7 or 8, that's higher. I'm definitely adding weight. I'm definitely adding weight if it starts getting to 7 or 8 reps for most things. But every once in a while, you're going to find, based on your scheduling or your tracking, you're going to find that you misloaded and you should have put on more weight. So get it done. Get it done. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. Everyone's going to be a little bit different with what that looks like, but you can customize it. Okay, let's get into some BD content. We do have overtime, so we're not going to linger too long. You can pick, that's overtime. You can pick 1, 2, or 3. How long are these videos? Oh, not too bad. Oof. 1, 2, or 3. And in the meantime, while you drop that in the comments, let's get into a couple. Let's go into the X-Files a little bit. We have, let's see. Oh, we got another thing from the Virgie Tovar that was going around here. Gross. I'll read this. I'll read this one for the holidays. This one for the holidays is a good one. All right. I posted this. Investing in your health is a long-term play. The mainstream will say you are making a sacrifice. Sacrificing what? Binge drinking, eating poison, watching regurgitated garbage movies? What exactly am I sacrificing? Don't fall for the scam. The world wants you to be impulsive and make terrible decisions. Smarter people will profit off your dumb mistakes. And this has to do with investing. Maybe some of you noticed that there's a little, I wouldn't call it a dip, but a mini correction based on the Fed dropping interest rates 25%. So the value of the dollar kind of increasing a little bit. People dump out of the market, take some profits, which is essentially what the Fed announced, which is why the market dipped. I wouldn't call it really even a dip, but a small correction. But anyway, people are going to profit. People are going to profit when Bitcoin drops, when the dollar gets temporarily stronger. People usually get scared. But you make your profits, you make your wealth, you build wealth by purchasing cheaper assets when the prices go down. So a lot of people get scared for those things. So smarter people are going to be buying the dip, quote unquote, and they're going to be making larger profits long term. A lot of other people get shaken out, paper hands, and they sell, and they lose out on the long-term growth. Same thing with your health. People sacrifice their long-term health for those instant gratifications. They'd rather do the easy thing that takes no effort, that gives them that dopamine release right now, rather than quote unquote sacrifice. But again, what are you sacrificing? What are you sacrificing? A lot of what you'll hear by going to the gym, you're sacrificing what? Oh, you're going to the gym. You can't be doing all these other things that are terrible for your body if you go and exercise. I'm not sacrificing anything. Those other things aren't valuable enough to consider them a sacrifice. They're not helpful for you. So the grift is that those things are actually valuable enough to be considered a sacrifice. It's not. You're using your time, you're investing wisely, and you're going to have more on the back end. You're going to have more on the back end. You are going to have those long-term benefits. And most people have a high time preference, meaning they do what's convenient right now. They do the instant gratification. They go for those instant pleasures. And a low time preference means you're making decisions for the long term. And more decisions that you make long term, the better off you are. The better off you are if you think with a low time preference. And usually the people around you that are making those choices are giving you shit. Honestly, if you want to look like them and have the results that they have, do what they do. And most of the people that you're going to be spending time with, unfortunately, especially during the holiday season, you don't want what they have, do you? Do you want their body type? Do you want to be as healthy as them? Probably not. Probably not. So you have to understand, a lot of times people say things because they are embarrassed of themselves. They have low self-esteem. They don't want to see anyone doing better than them, doing what they know that they should be doing. So they project their own insecurities. Don't feed into that. Don't feed into that. You don't want what they have. If you want to be just like your morbidly obese aunt, then do what she does. And she probably just eats garbage and does jack shit. Do you want to look like that? Go to Walmart. Do you want to look like Walmart people? Probably not. Probably not. Maybe you do. If you do, then do what Walmart people do. Go to Walmart and hang out and just eat food off the shelf. Let's talk a little bit more. We're talking about investing. We're talking about, Bitcoin and compound interest. I always think about this when it comes to risk. So risk when it comes to Bitcoin, when it comes to training. Look, there's a risk when you train. There's a risk. You're pursuing a training protocol and lifestyle changes that doesn't give you instant gratification. It might make you feel better, but you don't see the results of your training program for months or years. You don't see the muscle growth right away. You don't see it right away. You got to put in weeks or months of effort before you start seeing that growth. And I tweeted this. I said, people that think Bitcoin is risky, but have no issue spending $250,000 on libtard indoctrination, aka college, with no guarantee of a job. I think risk is going to college nowadays, or university, whatever you want to call it, spending 250 G's on literal just brainwashing for archaic information that is so ancient and hoping that you get a job to pay off that absurd high interest loan. You're going for 4 years to just get in debt. You're just going to get in debt. You're not learning anything. You're not learning anything. Maybe very, very few. There's very few applications for college these days. Very few. I would say if you're looking to do something for like engineering or aerospace, if you're doing, sure, if you want to be a lawyer or a doctor, you have to go through certain protocols. You have to in order to pursue that. But I would say 95% of everything you'll go to college for is just is worthless. You don't need to. You absolutely don't need to. But of course, if you do want to be a surgeon, then you have to go through the things that will allow you to do that. You can't just like pick up a knife and go, well, you can pick up a knife and just go cutting into people, but it's not going to work out well for you. You won't have that career too long unless you're Dexter and you can really like evade authorities. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. So let's get into a video and then we'll get into one of these other stories. I have another story from the Luigi CEO murderer that just, it's creeping me out. It's weird. It's a strange situation. This one's called School Assignment. Remember, we have overtime coming up shortly. There was another Virgie video. I don't want to read it. I don't want to watch that one, but Virgie Tovar is toting again. School Assignment. This is called School Assignment number 2. School Assignment would be it.
Thank you guys for having me. I am here to talk about an assignment that was showed into my daughter's classroom. I'm going to read the assignment. I do have a picture, but that's, neither here nor there. It says, stand in a circle. Each of you is now gay or lesbian, and you're about to begin your coming out process.
What?
You cannot talk for the rest of this activity. I don't see how this is part of the California curriculum for education. There's nothing that it does other than groom children. It's not okay, it's disgusting, and it should not be allowed. I was told by the vice principal of Rancho the first time I called that it was not part of the curriculum. I then emailed Dr. Villarreal. He emailed me back saying, oh no, this is definitely part of the curriculum, this specific activity. Then he had one of his other vice principals call me to confirm that it was really part of this curriculum. I have tried to get into contact with Dr. Villarreal over the phone about 8 times, and just failed every single time. He has not reached out to me himself personally, other than the first email contact that we had. I've reached out to Dr. Matt Doyle. I do understand that we will be having a meeting between January 6th and the 13th, I believe. So there is that. I don't think that this assignment should ever be taught to any children. It does not do anything other than groom them. Should not be allowed. Anybody who teaches this should be fired immediately. That's all I have to say about it.
Okay, thank you. Just so that you know, if you've not spoken before, we can't respond from the dais.
I understand.
Okay, thank you.
What, bro? So let me just pause this. Let me just pause this side video. Let me remove the thing. It says activity direction. Stand in a circle. Each of you is now gay or lesbian. Oh, this is so creepy. This is so creepy. Each of you is now gay or lesbian, and you are about to begin your coming out process. You cannot talk for the rest of this activity? I forget what he said. So how are you going to begin your coming out without sound? Anyway, remove your kids from the school. Look, you have to, this is a very new thing in humanity. It's a very new thing to allow your kids to be educated by other people. So you raise your kids and then you send them away. This is essentially what you're doing. You're sending them away to the state. Right? You're sending them away to the state. The state is is raising your kids. You're going to work, and the state, the government, is raising your child for 8-9 hours a day. Then they get older and they go to a university that gets all their grants money from the state. The state is indoctrinating your 17, 18, 19-year-old for 4 years. They're raising your children. They are raising their children. And guess what? The state, the Marxists that have overtaken the education system for the last several decades, they want to separate the kids from their parents. The younger they can start that, the better. And thankfully, the lockdowns and COVID exposed a lot of this in 2020. But it's been happening for years. So they plant these seeds. They try to separate the kids from their parents. The parents push back and the kids are like, no. And because the teacher is saying, well, you don't have to tell your parents, or your parents might disagree, or they don't understand. And then it just breaks down the relationship between the kids and their parents. And because of the secular nature of our society these days, kids don't have that moral framework. They don't go to church. They don't have these kinds of tight-knit organizations that teach them a moral framework. They watch these bullshit Disney movies and all these cartoons and things like that kind of infect with these types of ideologies. They go to school, they get it there, and they're essentially just breaking apart the family. You got to remove your kids. You got to homeschool. You got to do whatever you can to not allow the state to destroy your kids. Horrible. Horrible. Absolutely terrible. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy. It's going to be hard. You have a lot of people and this is what happens when you print money. And this is why I'm so vehemently against government fiat currency, is because there's nothing backing it. There's nothing backing it. It's completely inflatable. They can steal your wealth whenever they want. And it's happened tremendously, and it's accelerated over the last several decades. And the problem is that means that both parents have to work. They're both out of the house, more people to tax, less people at home. Like, you're not able to raise your children. Feminism has been a cancer in our society. Women in the workforce, rather than working for the family, raising children. So now the kids don't have any parents. They're just raised and educated and taught. So what a parent is doing by sending your kid to public school, what you're doing is you're saying, hey, I don't know how to teach you. These other people have the authority. You're passing off authority to the state. That's frightening to me. That's mind-blowing and frightening. You should be the authority for your children. As if schools are required to gather information. With all the information, with technology, with what you can do online, with that kind of like interactive education, the most access to information ever. You can learn things so much quicker. Parents can, your kids better than the state. It's creepy. Creepy. Creepy, the mindset of wanting someone else to raise your kids. I know the reasons or the arguments. It's just a shame that it's not done with good intentions, but you can't expect that to happen. This is what happens. It just collapses over time. It erodes. Let's check out this video. So you guys have seen, how long is this? Okay, so we talked about the Luigi Mangione, the guy who shot the CEO. Watch this video and tell me if this looks weird to you at all. Okay, I guess he was being transferred to somewhere in New York. Just watch this video and let me know what your thoughts are on this. Just watch and just let me know if anything feels there's a lot of different angles for this. Just check it out and let's see what we got here. Sorry for the audio, that's just on Twitter. All right, I'm gonna pause that. Dude, what the fuck is that? What is that shit? Look at this video. Okay. This looks like an absolute choreographed, looks like it's being shot for a movie. You have all these people and they're walking him slowly down. Look, if he's actually threatened, wouldn't you keep his head covered or do it very in the back door underground? You wouldn't make this huge spectacle. Look, we caught him. We have him. Here's the guy. Ooh, what are you doing? This is so weird. And there's other angles from CNN. It looks completely super fake and super, like, if he's really at that risk, if you're going to parade him out in the public, I get why there's 100 people there around him and all these guys with like arms, they're walking super slowly. Very performative, Jessica says. Absolutely. That's the term. Very performative. Very performative. You don't need hundreds of people working security if he's not wide out in the open, just in the middle of everything. It looks very, very, very orchestrated. So why do they want you to see him like this? Why does he look clean shaven? He looks all like he's going to be on the cover of a magazine or something like that. It's so weird. So weird. There's another video from CNN. Let me see if I can search for it quick. Arriving. There's a CNN, and it looked like just like that, but almost looked a little bit worse. Oh, we love you, Luigi. It's so gross. So gross. All right, well, here we go. Here's the other one. This is just a different angle. But again, you tell me. And there are people watching, like recording from buildings saying, oh, we love you, Luigi. We love this. What the fuck are you? People are sick. People are absolutely sick. Okay. Look at this angle from CNN. You tell me this is just normal. This is just normal. Yeah, we don't want to pick him out. He's a target, so we want to protect him. Everyone's in black and he's in bright fucking orange. He's in bright orange. Yeah, Sheena just says he's in bright orange, the sea of black and gray. No one could pick him out. Where is he? He's at such risk. We want to protect him with all these armed guards. He's in bright orange in the middle of New York City. Tons of buildings, snipers can pick him. Come on, dude. Come on. Really, this guy kills a CEO when he's getting paraded? We shouldn't be making this guy look to be a martyr or some kind of vigilante. Heroic. Oh, he's standing up against all the evils of capitalism. This is some sick shit. Why is he being paraded like this? He's being paraded. Do the cops want to act like, well, we caught him. Look at what we did. Is that even the guy? What's even happening? All right. We don't even know if this is the guy. I don't trust any of this shit. Even like we don't have all the information. You know, we're just getting some leaked out stuff. It's just all we know is the CEO was shot. And then this guy is what they're saying is the guy, right? Okay.
Here over the rotors of the helicopter. Talk to us about what you're seeing now and just
look at this.
The scale of the law enforcement presence there.
What is this?
Like I said, I've never seen anything like this, Boris, to be quite honest with you. There are just law enforcement from so many levels here, and it's very clear.
He just got his hair done.
That walk from the helicopter all the way down that pier to that Sprinter van, which he just got into, while he's shackled. They clearly want the photo opportunity to show what they believe they got their guy. I mean, that's what it really feels like.
I agree.
Like a long perp walk, as we would call it in the news industry. And now we're told in that Sprinter van he will travel to.
That was okay. That was a little bit shorter than I thought that clip was. Yeah, it's a long perp walk. It's just ridiculous. I mean, again, here's the other video that we watched already, but look at it again. Walk slower, bro. Can you walk this guy slower? Well, he has shackles on. Look at them just casually walking. And I will tell you what, if they were really worried about this guy getting shot, if they're really worried, do you think those guys next to him, I wouldn't want to just be walking with a hat on. I want to be next to that guy. If you're walking him open and you really think he's at risk of getting shot or something, look at all the angles. Look at the bridge. Look at all these fucking angles. The boat over there. You can pick off this guy from so many angles. I don't want to stand next to that dude. Who wants to stand next to him without a bulletproof helmet on and just complete silver knight armor? Some guy should with a sword. Yeah, wait, look, again. Yeah. You know, you can't tell me that my spidey senses go up when you're going to pretend like this guy is at risk, but you're not going to have anything bulletproof around him. Oh, we have guns and we're walking like this. Headshot, dude. What? What do you? Oh, you're protecting him. Sure. Are you going to catch a bullet? Look at all those windows. Yeah, everyone's looking forward. Everyone's looking forward. No one's looking around. This is stupid. It's so stupid. It looks like a huge scam. What are you guys' thoughts? You could drop that in the comments. What do you guys think about it? Let's do these other two videos because we have them here. This one's short, and then we'll get into some misgender thing, and we're going to go into overtime. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and let's do these last two videos. This one's called Stomach.
What's
oh
in the
boy.
box?
It says on the screen, it's okay that your stomach isn't just your uterus. Oh God. Oh God.
Yeah, say that this is not just my uterus.
No fucking shit. No shit. You don't say.
That's a huge bitch.
This is not just my uterus. Yeah, no kidding. Thanks for the heads up.
This is my stomach.
Yep.
And it is the best accessory that I have with my clothes, to be honest.
Your fat gut is not an accessory. Is this what we're doing now? I'm wearing this purse today. Oh, here's my fat gut.
So yeah, it's okay to have a stomach. It's fine. It's normal.
If you have chronic inflammation and you have terrible lifestyle habits, having a stomach is normal. That's not your stomach, though. That's your fat gut on top of your stomach. We all have a stomach, but your stomach is inside. That's where you digest your food. All that I see, I'm not looking at your stomach. I'm looking at your fat gut. What's with women thinking their uterus is a beach ball? Your uterus, if you have a baby in it, yeah, it's going to push out a little bit. Your uterus is not this big, right? It doesn't stick out. Any woman that says their uterus is sticking out, no, they have terrible posture. They have an excessive lordotic curve. They're arching their back. That's not your uterus. That's your terrible posture in your gut. All right. It's so stupid. This is not just my uterus. Yeah, no shit. You're fat. This is my stomach. It's not your stomach either. Do you not understand what a stomach is? You don't understand what this organ is, do you? At all. Obviously. Uterus isn't that big. All right, last one. We're going to do if your parents misgender you. Ah, yes.
What's in the box?
We're going to look at the result. This video is the result of not homeschooling.
Here's a little hack to stop your parents from misgendering you this holiday season. So say you're at a family event and your parents misgender you in front of
Mr.
everyone.
Beast. Mrs.
Simply
Beast.
release all of the piss and shit in your body onto the floor. Start pissing on.
Wait, what? Hold on, I missed that. Let me add that to the future soundboard folder first. I missed that. Got out of hand fast. Hold on a second. I think I heard what I think I heard. I'm gonna replay it. Did I just hear that? I think I did. Wait, what? What?
Misgender you in front of everyone. Simply release all of the piss and shit in your body onto the floor. Start pissing on the floor. Start shitting on the floor. And when your family's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just go, my parents never taught me how to piss or shit in the toilet, so I have to piss and shit on the carpet. And all the carpet's covered in piss. And all the couches are covered in shit.
This doesn't even make any sense. Oh no. Your parents called you what you are. Oh, you have a mental disorder? You know, pissing and shitting everywhere. That's a mental disorder. That's what homeless people, that's what like these homeless people do that have mental disorders, right? You give them homes. You guys know this, right? Oh, the unhoused. They're not homeless, they're the unhoused. They just need houses. We just give them free homes. No, they're mentally deranged. They have mental illness. That's why they're living on the street. They choose to live on the street. You've seen these things? You've seen these? And I'm not trying to get off topic here, but have you seen what happens when you just say, oh, these people that are on the street, let's give them brand new apartments. They trash it. There's shit everywhere. They have mental illness. They need actual help. They need help. Okay.
I can't have roommates because they say I'm too stinky to live with because my parents never taught me how to piss or shit in the toilet.
I have no idea what this has to do with anything. This is fucking insane.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Your parents will think it's far more embarrassing to have a child that can't shit or piss in the toilet than one that's transgender. Happy holidays.
All right. That's good. That's good. We're done with that. All right, fam. We got overtime that's going to be starting momentarily. So you can start heading over into the Daily Swole Telegram chat. Overtime starts for members. You could join the Daily Swole Telegram chat, not the Swole Fam Telegram chat, the Daily Swole. And we have overtime coming with a brand new Driving While Gaining. Very exciting. Hit the like button, subscribe to the show. Join the fam over at swolenormousx.com. Download the Swolenormous app and start your free trial today. Join the Famwise. It's going to be awesome. Looking forward to overtime. So let's get into it. Let's give away today's Swole card, and then we will jump into the OTZ. Look at the Papa Swoleo. And we have the church. Tainty Man's covered because I have some stuff in the way. So you can see him over there, though. There's the Tainty Man. He's sleeping. He's sleeping. Thank you, Tainty Boy, for being good during the show. All right, let's give away the Swole card, and then we will get into OTZ. What we got? Overtime, overtime, overtime. We got a winner. It is Bushy Brow. Congratulations. It's like the Luigi Mangione. He's got the strong bushy brows, right? Is that what we're talking about? Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3150 in the subject. Your mailing address in the body of the email. Well, isn't that just fantastic? Isn't that just fantastic? Good for you. Good for you. Congratulations. Congratulaciones. Reminder, those of you, let's remove that. For those of you that have not yet checked out the roundtable, head on over to the Swolenormous app and you can see it right here. It's right there. Scrolling. Boom. Feature this week, roundtable. You can catch up on yesterday's stream for members if you go into your Swolenormous app. So check out the roundtable. It was live last night. It was awesome. And of course, after today's overtime segment, we will have it available for members inside Swole TV in your app also. So let's get into OT. Who's ready? Brand new. Brand new Driving While Gaining, by the way. Brand new DWG. You guys are going to love this one. So make sure you head on into the Daily Swole Telegram chat. Thanks for being here, Beaches. We'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you listen to the show, Apple Podcasts and Spotify for the weekend episodes. Next week is obviously Christmas Eve and Christmas, so we'll probably have some more audio episodes there for you. But we have our major release party on the 30th, and be there for that. But of course, we'll have an accountability meeting on Monday, and we'll keep it locked in for at least the beginning of the week. But thanks for being here. We'll see you in overtime in the Telegram chat. It's going to be lit. Brand new Drive While Gaining. We'll get all those latest private streams up there in the app for you if you can't catch it live for overtime. So we'll see you over there. Thanks for being here. Hit the subscribe button, everything. Check out the links down below. Peace, McGee, Deuce, Magoose, ya boy, Papa Swoleo. Oh, out.
Man, it's too early in the morning for this shit. Let's get it.